and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shy Moss and I am the Generational Wealth Strategist. So if you're looking for strategies on how to build generational wealth and create a long-lasting legacy, then you're in the right place. So in this video, we are going to be going over the most common question that I have gotten, which is how do you buy real estate with little to no money down? Okay, so let's just jump right in. The first way that you can buy real estate with little money down is through your FHA loan. So with your FHA loan, it's only 3.5% down, and that is amazing, right? That's super low. Okay, and they are a bad credit program, meaning that you can have a credit score of 580. I've heard some people that have had 580 or below get approved, so you might want to check it out. I don't know, but I do know at least by 580, a 580 credit score, you can get approved for the loan with still the 3.5% down. So that is amazing to look into. But I do want to let you guys know the better way of doing it is to at least have a 620 credit score, because you're going to be able to get other loans, all the other conventional loans, and at least have $20,000 in the bank. I do know that that is not the case for everybody, so I don't want to discourage you that if you don't have a 620 credit score or $20,000 in the bank, to discourage you to not want to buy real estate, because the truth of the matter is, when is the best time to do it? The best time is now. Especially with African American people, we are the percentage of African Americans who own anything is about like 30%. Home ownership is down to 30%, and that's not good, you guys. And our wealth, the wealth gap is so huge between African Americans and Caucasians, and so we really need to bridge or close that wealth gap, because we're looking at, for us, it's very crucial, because for us it's looking at the year 2050. Our wealth is going to be down to 0%. That's what they've predicted. So we have to do something. So I don't want you to let your bad credit or not having money hinder you from home ownership, from owning. You need to own something, okay? Because our future is in jeopardy. And so that's why I'm trying to do these videos. I'm trying to let you guys know, put some, put the education, put the strategies out there so you could build wealth for you and your family, because later on in life, it's going to be crucial. We can't do this, guys. We got to do better. So anyway, so I don't want you guys to drag your feet in this, and thinking, oh, well, let me wait, because this is what I hear a lot. I'm going to wait until I get my credit score up, or I'm going to wait until I save $20,000. And that waiting goes from 1 year to 20 years, and you have not done anything. So just get out there and just do, okay? So anyway, so the first one is the FHA loan, which is great. And then the second one I love is the USDA program. This is 100% financing, okay? They're way better than the FHA loan, in my opinion, because you don't have to be a first-time buyer, right? So you could already, all of my investors, investors in the making, great. This is a great program, because you could already have properties and you could still join this program, and it's zero finance. You don't have to put anything down. They're financing the deal 100%. You don't have to put any money out, and they have cheaper interest rates than FHA. However, the thing is that it has to be in a USDA approved area. So the property has to be in, it's like a rural area. I cannot say that word for nothing, but so it's in a rural area, and don't let that throw you off. I'm going to put all the links in the description, and I want you guys to do some research. I want you to call the people. Don't just read on the internet. Sometimes you actually need to pick up the phone and talk to somebody, because then you're going to get more information, okay, that may not even be on the internet. So call them up, and then what they'll ask you is like, oh, what area are you looking at? What zip code? And they'll tell you what properties they have. And don't let the rural area like throw you off, because it may not be somewhere out in a desert somewhere. It could be, somewhere, you know, close by in a nice little in the suburbs. It can be somewhere over there, or it could be across the street. So don't let that throw you off. Just please call them up and, you know, and look into it. Now with them, you do have to have a 620 to 640 credit score, okay? But once again, with that being said, you do want, even if you have less than perfect credit, still call them up and see what they can do for you. Because when you buy a home, when you purchase a home, your 620 credit score or higher, what it does is kind of just puts you on a automatic underwriting, you know? Versus if you have bad credit, it has to become, it's like a manual underwriting, meaning that they have to do a little bit more work and figure out a little bit more things to get you approved for the loan. Versus if you already have that good credit score, it's kind of just, I don't want to say it easy breezy, but you know, it's just, you just go on through the process a little bit more smoother, you know. So that's what you want to look at. So you don't have that 620 where you're going to get that automatic underwrite. You need somebody to come in and work out a deal for you and figure some things out. If that makes sense, I'll probably do another video on how that works a little bit more to give you understanding. But that's the main reason why you should not let your bad credit, you know, keep you from actually going and apply for a loan, because you'll be shocked at what you could get, because there's people with even good credit that may be denied a loan, which will be a whole nother video. Okay, but so yeah, so go ahead and look into that. And then what else with them? I do like, okay, yeah, that's what else is good with them. So with the USDA, it is good for, there's two ways. So there's the USDA guaranteed, right? Because with the USDA loan or in the program, it's for low income families. So if you're low income and say, you know, you don't have a lot of money, they will work with you. Okay. That's what it's for. So, but with the USDA guarantee part, there's two parts to it. I think it's the other one is direct for the low income, and then guarantee is for the families who make more money, you know, that they're not low income. So they really work with you. So that is a really, really, really good program to look into. Okay, and so now the third way that you can buy a property with no money down, I think it's, yeah, no money down is, but it's definitely a bad credit program, and that is through NACA, you guys. I don't know if you guys heard of NACA, but NACA is the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, something like that. Like I said, it's going to be in the link. And with NACA, what they do, they are a program for people with bad credit, right? And they will finance your first home. With NACA, though, you have to live in, with a lot of the programs, it's owner occupancy, meaning that you have to live on the property for at least a year. With NACA is different. I think with their program, you have to live in that house. And if you sell, then there's a penalty. But I want you to do the research. I don't want you to get turned off by that, because I think this is an amazing opportunity. Like I said, for those people out there who have less than perfect credit, and those people out there that don't have the income, they will work with you. I heard it is a very, very long process, maybe like 6 months to a year, but you know what? Y'all need to stop being babies. That's what I have to say for that, because what is a year versus a whole lifetime or decades of you paying someone else's mortgage, right? So you have people complaining, oh, it's taking too long. Honey, in a year, you can be a homeowner versus you wasn't complaining. You do not complain about paying anybody else's mortgage. Okay, I'm not going to preach here. I'm not going to be nobody's mama, but I do want to make that very clear, because when I hear people say, I'm like, no, because the government is trying to help people become home ownership. It's just homeowners. It's just that a lot of people do not have the information. A lot of African American people do not have the information, and they don't know how to use the strategies to build wealth, to get to where they want to be, and to set up their families. But when the information is there, sometimes we have some people that's like, oh my God, it's doing that. Oh, they asked me for that. It's just too much. And it's just like, okay, this is the reason why you're in a situation that you're in. And so do not expect for somebody to save you, because to me, it does not get any better than that. Especially when you don't have the things, the credentials that you need anyway to get a house. They're working with you. So like I said, a year or 6 months is definitely nothing at all. But anyway, let me go on. So look into that one. And then also Section 8 has a home ownership program as well. You guys look into that. It should be no reason why no one owns a home. You cannot use your bad credit. You cannot use low income anymore, because there is programs. It's just not as advertised as all the other ones. Okay. The way is pretty much creative financing. And so what creative financing is I'll give you, an example. Say for instance, you found a house and you don't have the credit nor the money, but you found the house. So basically you have the deal. You got the deal here, and what you're going to do is you're going to get everybody up. So say for instance, because you can do co-borrowers when it comes to buying a house, which is another thing, because I get a lot of people saying, well, I got approved, but I only got approved for this amount of money, but I don't want to add anybody else. Then that means you don't want a house, right? Or you don't want to buy this property, because we're not going to be bougie. We got to crawl before we can walk. So if you can get approved for a house and what your approval is $100,000, which we all know in California, that is definitely not enough. So what you want to do is want to get extra co-borrowers on. So if you can get your mama, your daddy, your uncle, whoever to go on with you, because maybe they have a high enough income to get you a higher mortgage loan, then that's what you want to do. So basically that's what you do. So say for instance, you don't have the credit, but maybe your auntie has a credit. So you go in and say, hey auntie, we're finna go get this house. We need to use your credit, and just find the money. That's what investors do. They just find the money. So, you look around. So you got partnerships, you have friends, now we have crowdfunding. You can raise money, those GoFundMe a new house. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many ways to do it. And that's just one creative way of doing it, because then you can go into the whole wholesaling. And wholesaling is basically you find a house, you put it under contract, and you find a buyer. So you find a seller, you put it under contract, and then you find a buyer and put them under contract, and then you make a percentage of the money. Or for instance, my first deal was this, and I didn't even know what it was. All I know is I was like, okay, I'm looking for homes, and I want to start investing in more real estate. So what happened was I had someone who was willing to sell me a property, but at the time I did not have the money that they were asking for. So say for instance, they were asking for $100,000, which it wasn't. It was a little bit less than that. I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, I don't have the money. So I had told them no. But then later on, I had ran into someone who was like, hey, I'm looking for a property to buy. And so then I was like, oh my God, then it clicked. I said, oh my God. I didn't tell them. And I was like, oh, so-and-so is trying to sell their property. And so I had asked them, I said, well, how much are you willing to pay, or what are you looking for? And so they were like, okay, 110K, I'll pay for it. So anyway, so I went and got the seller under contract, and then I went ahead and got the buyer under contract as well. And so basically it's kind of like a win-win situation, but I profit where the house was going for $100,000. They gave me $110,000. I kept the 10K, and boom, boom. Pretty much that's how it goes. It's other stuff in between too. With that, but it's really simple. I like wholesaling, and what I like about wholesaling is I know, like, on the internet they make it seem like, oh, it's a business, which it is a business, I guess, but for me it's kind of just been I don't want to say easy, but it's kind of just, I do that like as a side hustle. And when I say as a side hustle, like when I did that, the first time I did that, that's how I was able to get up enough cash to go ahead and purchase me another property. But what you can do, like what I do too, I pay off debt. Like, say for instance, when you're out there and you're talking to people, it's weird how deals just come across you or come on your desk. Well, for me now, my desk, and sometimes you just look over them or you pass by them because you don't know what to do with it. It's just that first time I actually knew I had a little bit of education, so I knew what to do with it. I knew like, oh, let me hurry up and get this together real quick. And it's like really easy money, and it's legal. It's 100% legal. Okay, you guys. So that is definitely another way. And like I said, that is an awesome way to pay off some student loans. Honey, child, man, you can, yeah, I'm not even going to go into that, but that's another way. And that's under creative, investing. There's so many ways with creative investing, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And especially when you're going into like commercial real estate or buying apartments and things like that, you do want to do creative investing. And I'm gonna do another video about that because it's so much with it, and it's a whole nother ball game, but the profits is just amazing. So anyway, so that is my video for today. That's gonna be like part 1 because there's other programs, there's other things too out there. But you know, I didn't want to have this video this long, so I'm gonna cut it off now. But yeah, so all the links is gonna be in the description box, so look into it. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them, leave them in the comments, and I will respond. Okay, bye.